Why did Jesus say, tell no one that he was the Christ? Well, Matthew used Mark as a very primary source. And he took things from Mark almost word for word. In other places he changed them. But I don't know if Matthew was all that clear as to what Mark was trying to accomplish in his gospel. And Mark begins with the words, "This is the good news of Jesus Christ, Son of the living God." And kind of the book gets closed, and then we go through the gospel, and we see how dense the apostles were, that they just weren't getting it. Demons were recognizing who Jesus was, but the disciples, no. So the whole process is, and it's called Messianic secret, a term that will never appear on a crossword puzzle. Mark is wanting to get across the idea that Jesus couldn't reveal everything all at once. It would be like trying to feed somebody the entire cow instead of one hamburger. That's a kind of corny expression. We can't milk that for much, I know. So, what Mark is trying to get at is, as we are reflecting on this gospel, that we can see or say, I get it. Yeah. And that's really, I think, one of his key, the beauties, the inspiration that Mark got from the Holy Spirit to write it in that kind of detective story. You want to learn a little bit more about Jesus? Well, articulates this scene. And so one of the things that Mark would say is, don't say this to anybody. Don't talk about this. And that's because Jesus realized that he needed to get people to understand what was in store for his choosing to reveal the love of the God. Where'd that come from? And we're going to hear that a week from Sunday. It's where Jesus, the first time in Matthew's gospel, says, folks, got to say something. It's about time. I think you need to hear it. And that is, I'm going to have to suffer and die. And why? Because that's the way things work when you're being nonviolent in a violent world. The violent people will finally take you away, kill you. And that was one of the key things that until Jesus got that point through to the people, everything else was to be kept secret in Mark's gospel.